Sexual assault survivors speaking out after their alleged attacker's trial was dropped because of court delays. The victim says they'll never see justice because the pandemic slowed down court proceedings, infringing on the accused's right to a speedy trial. Kelly Batello has a story.
I went to a small party at a friend's house. I knew everybody who was attending. I thought it was a safe gathering. There was only a couple of people there.
We can't show you their face or use their real name, but this person from Hamilton says the party they attended in January 2020 forever changed their lives.
I don't remember what actually happened during the assault. I was so intoxicated I couldn't get myself home. People seen the assault happening and left the place. They didn't report it while it was happening, they just left. There was video taken of the assault. I've had pictures sent of the assault to me.
The victim says they reported the sexual assault to police, and the alleged attacker ended up being charged in March of 2020, right when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. The courts shut down. They say because of all the COVID delays, the trial was set for nearly 2 years after the charges were laid. Too long in the court's eyes.
Yeah, his lawyer said that that wasn't fair, that he wasn't given the proper amount of time for a trial, and the judge did agree, so the charges were stayed.
The sexual assault survivor says even when the Crown tried to appeal the stay, nothing changed. In Canada, cases heard in provincial court should go to trial within 18 months. More serious offenses have a ceiling of 30 months. But defense lawyer Ari Goldkind says COVID changed everything.
The 18 and 30-month delay numbers were really without the idea that COVID would come. It was really done without this idea that there'd be this pandemic that upended the world. The bottom line as to how delay is calculated really is now jurisdiction specific. What happens in Hamilton is different than Toronto.
Goldkind says the pandemic threw the general rules of how to calculate a delay out the door. But he says everyone has the right to a speedy trial, especially if the accused is cooperating and trying to move the case along.
I appreciate that ruffles many feathers, but that is our law and that is our Constitution.
But for the victim, it feels like justice will never be served.
And I didn't even have a day in court where I could speak or tell anybody my story. You don't have a right to victimize other people and walk away from it because you didn't have a speedy trial. Everyone was affected by COVID.
We tried to contact the Ontario Court of Justice but have not yet heard back. Kelly Batello, CHCH News.